to the Dhamma talk.
And recording has started.
Great. So thank you. And good evening. There's a echo. Okay, bravo. And so lovely to have all of you. So Alex, Amra, and Milosh. And let's hope a lot of people will listen on the audio when we put it out on our YouTube channel. So did anyone see the topic of our conversation today on our little monastery? No? Alex did, yeah? Would you like?
Vedana.
Vedana, right? You all know Vedana, right? Vedana, feelings? Yeah?
Are we talking about some video?
No, Buddhist teachings, Vedana.
Oh,
feeling,
okay.
Contact.
Yes,
Yeah.
I misunderstood. I wasn't.
It's okay. So obviously through contact, you get the sensation, right? The feeling, which is called in Pali Vedana, right? And there's 3 types of Vedana, 3 types of feelings. Would any of you like to tell us rather than me just going on about it?
Pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral.
Absolutely, yeah. So pleasant would be something where obviously, the feeling can cause us to have be happy, isn't it? So, or content. Yeah. So we're going to have attachment to it. Yeah. And unpleasant, obviously, opposite. It's not something that we like, so we're going to have aversion to it, like, yeah. So greed, hatred, delusion, the 3 roots of unprofitable skills within each thought process. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the neutral one, the Pali word is adukkama, asukha dukkama, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it's neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Yeah. So, but the key is here, how do we get to that state of having a sensation which is neither pleasant nor unpleasant? So we have no attachment and we have no aversion. How do we get that?
So I have a question. So isn't my understanding is that normal contact. So when I'm, for example, I'm touching my desk now, and I don't seem to have either pleasurable or unpleasurable. It's neutral feeling for me.
Because you don't really have you kind of, it's like your system is conditioned, right, to your desk. It's somewhere you're used to being. Okay. Yeah. So say you go into an environment which is very new to you. Yeah. So your senses are going to be much more heightened, isn't it? Because the flight or flight action of all of us, which is inside our innate reactions to either protect ourselves or leave. Yeah. So then you would obviously definitely have either pleasant, very, more strong pleasant and unpleasant. Yeah. The neutral will have to come with a little bit more conditioning. Do you understand? Yeah. So the key is to have a neutral feeling. We need to have more awareness. Okay. So because say like something is pleasant, we're going to start or instantly wanting more, attaching. Yeah. And something is unpleasant, we're going to want to push it away straight away. Yeah. So it's just something to contemplate. So to practice to be more neutral at any given time, we need to have more awareness, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if I understood you correctly, so it's our attitude, attachment or aversion towards the feeling. Can we, for example, have a pleasant feeling, a sensation like listening to music, good music,
Mhm.
like classical music, and I don't have to be attached or have a version, but that is a pleasant sensation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, the Buddha, in his teachings, didn't say go and live in a cave, right? Don't go and live like a hermit. Yeah. Enjoy the pleasures of life. Yes, of course. But the thing is not to crave it again, not to wanting it again. You enjoy it at that time, and that's it.
But that's
Yeah.
very difficult.
I know. I know. Yeah.
Almost impossible. Yes. the,
But
the more purified you are, I suppose, the more feeling you have for these sublime, beautiful types of art and everything, because you are really immersing yourself. So it's
yeah.
almost impossible
Yeah.
to not crave again.
Yeah, but the key is not to just stop the craving to zero, but to reduce the strength of it. Yeah, but that happens with practice. The more you are in the present, right? The more you cultivate your awareness, yeah, through the bhavana, right? Through skillful physical actions, skillful verbal actions, and naturally the skillful mental actions start to arise, right? So going back to sila, the virtuous actions through your bodily, verbally, mental actions, yeah, helps to improve your awareness, be in the present moment, and then you start to see the impermanence, the change, the anicca, dukkha, anatma of things slowly, slowly. Yeah, even if you see 1% of it, that's still good. Can you see how the teachings are applied in your, to your daily practice? That is why to be putting your practice in all the time, not just, oh, I'm going to 1 hour of my day is my practice. No. Yes, of course, it's a practice where you're more disciplined, but the rest of your day to be, observing your actions, your physical actions, verbal actions, and then starting to see your mind. How is my mind? Is it going? Is it craving? Is it hating? Is it pushing away? Yeah. And no one can do that, just your own self. Yeah. Anything you like to add or any feedback or anything at this time? Experience from life?
I would maybe take Alexa. Go ahead. I see you unmuted. Is it okay?
No, please go, Miloš.
I was wondering, Yadita, what would you recommend? How to deal with unpleasant feelings that come up during either retreat or daily sitting, like either very strong restlessness or sadness or anger. To do then?
Yes.
Would you advise giving the negative feeling full attention, or just observing it on a high level and then going back to the main object of meditation?
Yeah, good. Excellent. Very good question. Yeah. So there's different ways of doing it. Okay. So now I'll have to get my thinking brain on. The Buddha recommended different ways of replacing a thought, right? So one of the ways is, the most simple is during your practice, if you have an unpleasant thought, like say for instance restlessness. Yeah, but restlessness, what you can do is if you're sitting and meditating, you can stand, move your posture. Yeah, either stand or do walking meditation. Then your restlessness in your mind will definitely start to ease, because you're not moving at all, right? So your body, the system, remember we talked about it on our retreat, this everything, even though we see this as something solid, there's many things going on underneath here. Yeah, there's blood going around, there's hormones, there's neural pathways, your nervous system working, your lymph system working, and it can change according to the daytime, according to the temperature, yeah, according to what you had to eat, what your daily work. Many things can affect it, and that in turn changes the way our thoughts behave. Yeah, because they're all linked, right? The system is all linked together. But when we put attention to a thought, then of course we see, oh, is it restlessness? Is it a happy thought? Right? Yeah. But if we don't put attention, it just goes. But during our practice, yes, we are going to naturally put attention to a thought, because the thoughts are coming with like little flags. It's like, here I am, watch. Yeah. So one of the things is, yes, change your posture in practice. Another one is you can practice compassion meditation, metta meditation. Yeah, just change your focus of attention from maybe observing the breath to may I be well, may all living beings be well. You can also use the qualities of the Buddha. I tend to say, rather than going on all 9, because that's pretty complex, just stick to one. You may find one quality resonates with you more than others. Not all the time, maybe sometimes, right? And just contemplate on that. Yeah, because what that does is it reduces the strength of your, what we call the low vibration thoughts, the negative thoughts, because the quality of the Buddha makes you feel more, it deepens your faith, isn't it? Your Shraddha, right? And that is a much more like a loving feeling, like a thought, much more like a softer wave of energy. Yeah. And looking at directly into your thought and observing it can be done. It's a lot harder to do for a lot of people. But as you become more advanced in your practice, you can start to do that. Yeah. And then try to find the cause of the root of that thought and kind of remove it altogether. Then that will never arise again. But that's a lot harder to do. So I personally say only do it if you are pretty good with your practice. If not, don't go there, because that will only make you tired and you will just give up. Yeah, so just stick to simple things at first. So metta is very, very easy to do, as you know. Yeah, so replace that thought with a thought of kindness. Yeah, or you can think of an action that you may have done, an act of kindness towards someone, either your family or someone you don't know, your colleague, and reflect on that. Yeah, because acts of kindness carries a lot of what we call merits, a lot of good energy. And when we always reflect on that energy is always like, say there was say, I don't know, you helped an old person cross the street, right? And that person was so happy at that time. Yeah. But then when you think about the experience that you got by helping them at that moment, it was a really nice, pleasant feeling, wasn't it? Yeah. And then say, I don't know, a week later, a month later, a year later, you remember that incident. And when you think of that again, if you compare it to like say, I give it a value of like, say, €100. Yeah, the initial, the value of that energy is €100. And when you contemplate that again, after a length of time, the value still remains the same. That is how we, describe the positive actions, that the blessings, the merits, however you call it. Yeah. And at times of difficulty, say for instance, we all have times of difficulties in our life, right? That is why, that is the whole point of this life, right? There's not always happy, there's always sadness and stuff. And at times of difficulty, a really good practice to do is reflect on good things that you have done in your life. Yeah. And that helps to kind of shift your thinking pattern to be more calmer and bring up more positive energy levels within your system. Yeah. Because at times of difficulty, a lot of people produce a lot of anger, right? Yeah. And anger is the biggest cause of cancer, because cancer is not a disease, it's our own body cells. They keep multiplying rather than stopping according to their program. And then when they keep multiplying, and then that is when your bodily system, then everything changes. Whatever is working around that cell tries to kind of fight to keep you alive, right? So one of whenever people are diagnosed with cancer, a great practice would be to practice compassion. I know personally people who have been told they have very little time to live, and they started practicing the Buddhist teachings, and the cancer stopped. They've lived very long lives. So I have seen it, with my own eyes, and heard stories and stuff like that. Yeah, like any disease, not just a cancer, right? Even if you get a cold in the winter, yeah, you get like a runny nose, headache, whatever. Keep it simple, drink lots of water, practice compassion to yourself. Yeah, practice compassion on the little bugs that are inside your body, right? They're obviously there because that is their way, right? And not to show aversion to it. Then naturally, your body, you're already in calming your system down, you're cooling the system. And it's naturally, your healing process will be a lot stronger. That is why in the Buddhist teachings there are I think it's 7 or 8 results of metta meditation, and one of them is like you won't get poisoned. Yeah, which means you can eat something bad, but you're practicing compassion towards yourself. Your system will just flush it out. Yeah. So yeah, so that is a good question. I hope that answers your question, Milosh. Would you like me to expand any more?
Oh, thank you so much. It definitely did. And it helped me connect some dots and realize that I was almost intuitively maybe doing at least parts of it in terms of practicing metta towards myself. For example, when my restlessness it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I just have to quit. Okay, that's it for this sitting.
Yeah.
And then instead of being disappointed and telling myself, which is a manifestation of doubt, I guess you are not good enough for this or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, this time it was too strong.
Yeah.
It won.
Yes.
The hindrance won this time. I noticed that my next sitting is much more peaceful.
Yes. Perfect. Absolutely. So that's very good. See, because that's the key. When you're practicing, you become much more like a proficient, more stronger in your practice. So naturally, your system knows, okay, this is what I need to do. Yeah. Wonderful. That's really good.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Keep doing it.
Okay. Any other feedback or experiences in your practice that you'd like to share with whoever is listening? Please come forward. No? Good so far?
So some interesting thing that I did recently. So while I was meditating, I observed my breath, and I was aware of my stomach was moving and those kind of things. And I was, oh, this body is so fragile because it can get sick and those kind of things. So when I cook now, it makes this resonates with me. I try to cook for myself like I'm cooking for somebody else. Like, oh, I want this body to be. I'm wishing like I'm, and this is making my cooking more enjoyable because it was boring. So now while I'm cooking, I know why I'm doing it because I want to offer to. So this body can be of help to me to be calm, because when it's not calm, my thoughts are not calm as well. So I like to,
Absolutely. Excellent. And your culture, your getting the resonance, and you're cultivating more joy within yourself. Piti, right? Yeah, more joy, little by little, because joy, cultivating joy, helps you improve your. Remember what it is? The more joy you have, virya, effort. Yeah, because when we're happy doing something, we want to do more, right? Yeah, and that is good attachment, not bad attachment. Yeah, we have good attachment, bad attachment, right? The bad attachment is the craving. It's got the craving inside, the little seed of the the dynamite. Yeah. So good attachment is important to keep us, you know, kind of setting a higher level each time for our practice. Yeah. In one of the dhyana states, right? You get it's called you achieve piti, which is the joy, right? But in all aspects of your practice, you can cultivate it. Yeah. So find ways. So like Alex says, cooking to keep your body healthy. And of course, remember, like your body does not belong to you, right? It came through a process from your parents, then all the, from the outside food and all the perceptions from your mom, and then after you're born, everything from the outside world, right? So in a way, when you are having joy in your cooking and you look after your body, it's like you can flip it as well. Just be grateful for all the beings that are part of this system. Yeah, because of them, I'm here. I'm breathing because of the air outside. The trees are providing the oxygen, right? Talking about pollution, imagine like people who live in, I know like New Delhi is one of the most populated cities on our planet, right? Very hard to live there. Apparently, you have to wear a mask and stuff, and the air is so dense. So imagine how blessed we are that we're living, in a country where there's clean air. Yeah. And people, many, many thousands of years ago planted trees or whatever. I know naturally trees would grow, but there are areas where people have planted trees as well and kept the area clean, right? To not to create so much pollution. So see how you can practice so many things in by doing one simple thing. You can look at, okay, how can I practice selflessness? How can I practice gratitude? How can I practice compassion? Yeah. And try to, you have the wisdom to see that and use that time to cultivate, because they're all amazing tools that help you on your practice. The more sharper practice, right, of being still. Yeah. So any input, feedback at this time? Any stories from your experience, your practice?
Risking to be greedy,
Yeah.
I would perhaps take the opportunity to ask you something, because you did mention jhanas.
Yes.
You know that by asking more about it, I'm opening a huge topic, and feel free to cut your answer as short as you.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Without getting too deep into it, my question would be, do you think it's doable, for the lack of a better word, for a layperson with the daily life, as like with kids and friendly relationships and work, out
Absolutely.
of a retreat context where you are isolated and the level of disturbance is minimal?
Yeah.
is it possible for a layperson?
Absolutely, absolutely, you can, yeah. But and Amra has something to say. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to tell Milos that he has been describing my life. Yes, I had to be a lay person because I got my son very early. I got him when I was 20 and became a Buddhist when I was 24. So, of course, I couldn't just abandon him and just go and be a monastic. So I had to literally be very, very isolated, hiding from everybody besides him that I'm a Buddhist. And when I went to India the first time, the second time, when I went to Nepal, I couldn't tell anybody, just my son. He was the only one who knew who I was, really, because I had to keep it as a secret. So from my own perspective, I can say that yes, whether we are lay people or whether we are monastics, I don't think that essentially it makes any difference for our practice or our essentially. Yes, it's not easy to be a lay person. It takes a lot of work, conscience work, I would say, but it's not impossible. At least this is how I see it. Please, Venerable Sakyadita, correct me if you think that
Correct.
I'm not right. So yes, I do think it is possible if we cannot be monks or nuns. So there is a reason that we simply cannot, such as, usually a big reason. We don't want to abandon our parents, for example, who deserve that we take care of them, or children, or we are simply in a situation where leaving would be a terrible ethical decision. And then it's easy. You kind of don't blame yourself. You just go ahead, right? I don't know how it is when you have an option. Now I have an option, finally, after all these years. And of course, the first desire, the first wish, the first earning that I want is to be a nun. Yes. So, yes, I think that this answers your question. I hope so.
Thank you, Amra. Wonderful. Yes, jhana, again, jhana practice. Yes, of course, you can go, but you need a lot of practice time, stillness, right? But remember, when you do get to the jhana levels, that you keep going, because jhana level can only take you to not to enlightenment. It can take you in a different direction too, because a lot of people find when they get to jhana levels, they become attached to it because of the feeling of the peacefulness attached to it, right? So you have to be very careful that you keep going. Yeah, but the thing is, in the Buddhist teachings, we have the stream mantra in English translation, so on. Sakurtagami, yeah, once returner, anagami, non-returner, and arahant, right? So technically, when you're in what we call the lay life, you can become a stream mentorer and a sakurtagami to a certain extent within a lay life. But once you get into the sakurtagami level, naturally you will leave the lay life, because your system cannot function within those parameters. Yeah, you know how the Dhamma, we say the Dhamma will take you on the path, right? So the Dhamma will take you to a life where you are much more in a more of a monastic setting. Even though you doesn't have to be a monastic, but you will be in a setting of that, because that will help you to, keep going to the next level. Yes, Amra, go ahead.
May I also just, it has come to my mind to say that when you are in a situation where you cannot leave your lay life, then you naturally start to purify your environment.
Yes.
If you cannot leave, then you you kind of try to make things around you as monastic as possible. I don't know whether this makes any sense,
No,
but
like
you,
that.
you kind of you choose your people, you naturally go towards
Yeah.
better works, and and you
Yes.
kind of waiting for the moment when you can
Yes.
just freely say, "Whew,
Yes.
now I can go."
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So your environment will naturally progress, right? Becomes cleaner, for a better word. Absolutely, yeah. So good question. I hope that answered your question, Milosh.
Yes, and thank you both for super valuable input. In terms of where I am on the path, I'm very far from having to be concerned with attachment to PT and stuff like that. I see a lot of homework to do.
No,
Primarily having stable access, stable concentration, stable
yeah.
samadhi, like staying with my project for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So a lot of work, a lot of homework
Yeah.
before I would even be ready to attempt something like that. So I was just from a perspective of curiosity,
Yeah.
and both. So
Yeah.
super valuable.
Yeah, but you're a good practitioner, so keep going. Don't worry, it'll come. Right? You will get there. So it's not like, oh, I need to get this. It's like it's a process, right? Yeah. Like enlightenment is a process, right? We know the goal is there, because if you try to get it, it's never gonna come. Like you're running a race, right? The finish line is there. I can see it, but unless I run, I'm not going to get there. So you have to put in the work. Yeah. So find where, so the more you practice, the more okay, I need to be more skillful at this is where I have difficulty. And then obviously, yeah, asking a teacher, who is very important, get guidance. Yeah, right. And then improve, because we're all different. Yeah, we all have different ways of getting to the top of the mountain. Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah. Important thing is you go on the path with least resistance. Never push yourself. I must do this. It doesn't work. Yeah. And like I said, we're all different. Our environments are different. And when you have obligations to family, it's the Buddha never said leave your family, right? You must fulfill your obligations to your family. If you have children, you have parents, very important. Even for us monastics, we're allowed to, the only thing with connected to our lay life, we're allowed to look after our parents. We're allowed to feed them from our bowl, that we get, when we go Pindapata, right? We go from house to house, we get food. And our discipline rules, we do not break if we feed our parents from our bowl. We cannot feed a lay person. We can only feed our parents, and we can bathe them, we can look after them, because the Buddha said you must, if you are the only caretaker of your parents and you're monastic, you must look after them, because they're your first teachers, right? The Dhamma is the second. Yeah. So yes, always look after our parents. And if you're in a situation, because I know Milosh, you have children, your responsibility is, you have 2 potential people for enlightenment, right? 3, including your wife, right? Yeah. So you must do your best to show them the way. Yeah. If you don't, you're really kind of, it's not nice. For a better word, you really, the deal has not been done. Yeah, because by helping them to get onto the path in some way, you don't have to tell them sit and meditate. You show them how to be skillful, how to be generous. Dana. Dana is the first. That is the first stepping stone for anyone. Dana, through your physical action, your verbal action, mental actions. Yeah. And then through Dana comes skillful, virtuous actions, Sila, Bhavana, all that. Amra, yes, please go ahead.
You finish whatever you have. I just want to
Yeah.
make
It's
sure.
okay.
Yeah. I was not aware that Milos has a wife and kids, so I just want to add just a little insight of mine. Again, maybe I'm wrong. From my own perspective, it helps if the people we love, and they are the reason why we are not thinking about any other lifestyle, is to tell them. I told my son when he was big enough to understand. Of course, I talked to him about Buddha and about everything. And so I told him that me staying was a sacrifice. It was honest, right? It was sacrifice out of love, but it was a sacrifice. So every time when I would have to go for a month, for example, to some retreat or somewhere, or I was excited about some teacher and then I wanted to go, while he was still young and he couldn't go with me or he didn't want to, he knew it was just, but she's here because of a sacrifice. I don't know whether this is a right way to do it, but I think that honesty with people we sacrifice for, if we feel it like that, if we feel that to be a sacrifice, and I did. First time I went to India after 2.5 months traveling around India, when I came back, I just could not believe that I am back in Europe in the same terrible wheel. I was like, oh my God, how long is this going to last? But I shared it with my son. He knew. Yes. And it helped for both of us to understand, okay, so I don't know whether it would work, Milos, but maybe you try, yes, to share with them.
Absolutely. Very good advice. Yeah. So anyone listening in to our little program, honesty is the best policy, right? Share with your family, this angel is here to help you guys fly too. So for better words, we're here, whatever, if we are constantly improving ourselves, right? We're cleaning this system up. People who come to us are very blessed. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's no two ways about that. Yeah. So you have the ability to, they have good karma to be in your presence. So you have the ability to help them improve their karma by helping them to clean their system too, because we're all full of defilements, right? That's why we're here. If not, we would be arahants or Buddhas, right? Or bodhisattva going towards the Buddha, right? But even bodhisattva has defilements. That's why they're in the bodhisattva cycle, clearing the system out. Yeah. So I get sometimes, I have like friends who have little children and they're Buddhists, they practice, but they tell me, I really want to become a monastic, but I can't because my kids are too little. And it's like, well, you're blessed to have children. And you are blessed to be able to give the gift of Dhamma to somebody else that is within your inner circle. I mean, how cool is that? Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's a great merit. The gift of Dhamma is the highest merit you can give. And you can give it to a family member. Amazing. Yeah. So keep, so important thing is to keep practicing. So, yeah. So going back to our little topic of Vedana, I know, because you can't just talk about one topic because everything links together, like I know Alex and I, when we used to have our Dhamma discussions before, and it was, it's like, okay, you can start on one, but there's so many facets, like it's like a flower, right? You may talk about one petal, but all the other little petals are there by its side and all come together to be this flower, right? We can't just say one little petal and that's a flower. No, many petals form a flower. Yeah, but Vedana is a very important topic to, like, when you're practicing, to be observant, because cultivating profitable actions. I talked with Amra, I think, the other day about this as well. Your physical actions, right? So that is why we take precepts. Yeah, 5 precepts, very basic, but it's very, you can be, the Buddha said, you can become enlightened on 5 precepts. You don't have to take 10, right? If you practice the 5 very well, you're going to get very good results. Yeah. So practicing the precepts, so you're on a very simple level, you're cultivating profitable actions from your bodily actions. Yeah. So naturally, when your bodily actions become more profitable, naturally your verbal actions become profitable. Yeah. Because the mouth is only a very small part of our body, right? Yeah. And then that is why we practice a lot of noble silence in our practice, right? On our retreats, and obviously even at home when you're meditating, you're staying quiet, isn't it? Because then you start to see the mind. Profitable action with the mind is the hardest thing to do, as you all know. Yeah. But when you start to observe the mind, as soon as, like I said before, the thoughts are like little flags, isn't it? They're always popping up. It's like, look at me, I'm brighter than the other one. Yeah. And so the more we give attention to it, the bigger the flag becomes. Yeah. So then that is a Vedana. So as soon as you see something, that is the contact, isn't it? Contact causes the feeling, right? So then you're like, okay, what is this? Am I liking this? Am I disliking this? Yeah. Or am I practicing to see the impermanence, the changing nature, and there is no solid thought. There's no solid entity. It's constantly changing. And that helps you to reduce the craving, because the craving is what causes us to be either attached or push something away. Because if we don't like something, yes, we want something opposite, right? If something is not pleasant to us, we crave for something to be reversed. Yeah, it's like there's not enough food, there's not enough salt in the food. What do? We reach for the salt. Yeah, because it's a habit. I need to pleasure this sense. Yeah, if not, my food is not going to digest. Yeah, it's natural. There's nothing wrong with it. It's our human nature. Yeah. So the practice is to observe. By observing, then you can change your habits, because it's all conditioned, isn't it? Not just in this life. Many lives of conditioning is in this system. Yeah. And as you know, is breaking the habit, isn't it? Yeah, like I read somewhere, I think I mentioned this to Alex. They said the Buddha was the best hacker. It's true, right? Yeah, he hacked the system. So that helped him to become the Buddha. So we have to hack the system too, So in order to hack the system, you got to know how it's working. Like Alex, Alex works with AI. So yeah, so the program, how it works. So how can I improve it? I have to change something. But how can you change something if you don't know where you need to apply the algorithm to, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, like where to put the numbers, where to change the numbers.
Yes, like any system, you need to understand before you change.
Exactly, yeah. So that is why in the Dhammachakka Sutta, I know Alex, you know the Dhammachakka Sutta, right? Have you, Amra, Milosh, you heard the Dhammachakka Sutta? The Buddha's first sutta, he, as after he became the Buddha, he went to see the 5 ascetics who looked after him when he was a bodhisattva, like when he was a ascetic Gautama, and he went to he chanted the Dhamma Chakra Pavattana Sutta. The English translation is, I think, the Dhamma wheel. I think the Sutta of the Dhamma wheel. You can Google it. It's on Access to Insight. Yeah. I can send you a message. I'll see if I can get it on Access to Insight, and I'll share it. And in that one, the Buddha explains how through his, when he attained the Buddhahood, the process of attaining the Buddhahood. So the first thing, he had the view, the right view. Yeah, 100% right view came. Yeah, it says Chakkung Udapadi. The right view arose. Yeah. So when we have the right view, which means no greed, no hatred, no delusion. Right? So that is 100%. So that is Buddhahood. But before that, it's little by little, the right view starts to open up through our practice, our understanding. Yeah. And then Chakkung Udapadi, Jnanang Udapadi. It's basically, so when you have the right view, you start to see your knowledge becomes stronger, because you have applied. Now when we're practicing as practitioners, not just practicing, but we read the suttas, right? We have to read the suttas because we have to have some kind of base, like a knowledge to kind of make sure that we're on the right track. Yeah. So if you're driving somewhere, says, okay, we're going to drive from Qatar, we're going to go to Belgrade, and then we're going to go to where Amra lives. Yeah. Zenit says that right? Yeah. Yeah. So I have to have a map of where I need to go. So I need to have a look, okay, do I go north? Do I go south, east, west? Right? And obviously nowadays we have, even Google Maps will tell us, okay, turn here, turn there, whatever. But long time ago, we only had the paper maps, right? I don't think it was before Alex's time. You guys are so young, right? And then we used to plan, okay, we have to first go north, and then we have to take a right, and then go east a little bit. Yeah. So yes, we can drive, but we need to have the knowledge, isn't it? Basic knowledge. That is why reading the sutta is very important. You don't have to read all of them, but just Majjhima Nikaya is very good to read, because when we practice as practitioners of the breathing meditation, Majjhima Nikaya has a lot of suttas that are like the old Buddhist texts, so they're much more pure in a sense. But read and see what resonates with you, and then apply that, the teachings of that into your practice. Yeah, very important. Yeah. So then when you practice with the knowledge, that so you're getting the right view, you're using your knowledge, then you start to see things much more clearly. You start to see things how they're working. Yeah. And when you see how things are working, then you can see, okay, where do I need to change, isn't it? Apply something so that it will be more profitable. It will take me to a different level. Yeah. So that's when you become a hacker. Yeah. And then then you can, okay, I've split the atom, and I can see how things are opening up. Yeah. But see, if you actually kind of think of it in a kind of like in a very simple way, Vedana is the feeling of whatever, like, we say feeling, but if you use the word feeling, a lot of people think, okay, I touch my hand, I can feel, but that's not just it. The Vedana is it's like as soon as the contact, as soon as I see a thought, that's Vedana in action, isn't it? I see the thought, right? And then it causes the system to work, okay, analyzing what is this? Yeah, history, good, bad, happy thought, sad thought, whatever. So see how Vedana is very important. So when you are more skillful, like your system becomes a lot more slow down. You're slowing down in your physical action, your verbal action, then naturally your mental actions start to calm down. And then you're much more kind of fine-tuned to catch at the point of contact, that feeling that comes. Do you understand? Yeah. Anyone like to add something or comment or whatever you like? Please. I don't want to be just preaching. Any question?
I'll just chip in really briefly, just to echo what I said during our daily retreat, how much I appreciate the interactiveness of working with you. It's not like typical Dhamma talk, a teacher talks and you listen.
Yeah.
There is actually a back and forth, and I really appreciate that. So thanks a lot.
You're welcome. That's okay. It's so lovely to have such wonderful, noble friends. You guys help me grow too, and I'm very grateful for your time. So it's amazing. We all help each other because we all have amazing experiences in life. Because we're all here because we have done some seriously good karma, and we have definitely been together before. And we are on this journey. Of course, yeah. If we hadn't been on this journey before, we won't be meeting like this from different parts of the world, right? I know, like you guys are from ex-Yugoslavia, but me, completely different side of the planet. I get to be with you. Please go ahead. Yes.
Hopefully the last time.
No, please go ahead.
Hopefully the last time is this that we are together.
Yeah. Sadhu, sadhu. Absolutely. May we all reach enlightenment.
Enough, please, enough. Pray for me. I've seen everything, heard everything, done everything.
Got the t-shirt.
Yes, please.
Yes.
When I get to the gate, I'm going to take them and say, I am not going back.
No. Absolutely. We won't. We're going on the one-way road. So I don't see any of you are going on a two-way street. So yeah. So we'll get there. Yeah. The important thing is to keep practicing and helping each other. And like I said, whenever you have questions, like that's why things like the Dhamma discussions are so wonderful, because we get to meet and talk and discuss about our practice and anything that you are not sure of. Like I told Milosh on our retreat, right? I mean, I'm not a god. I'm just like you. I'm practicing myself. Yeah. I know I've taken, in a way, a simple life. Yeah, I don't have the attachment of the lay life, but then again, being in this is not easy. So, yeah. So, but it has its perks. Yeah. Just like very, very rich people have a lot of perks, right? Sometimes they go to places they don't have to pay because everybody knows them, right? And they have, like especially like people who are quite well known and stuff like that. Yeah. They always get gifts and stuff like that. But in order for them to get into that level, they have to work very hard, and they still have to keep working hard. And they have to protect their investments and money and everything, right? So it's not easy. Yeah. So monastic life, obviously nothing like that, but it's still There's a lot of discipline with it, and a lot of things that we can't do compared to a layperson, right? But then the flip side is we have this time to practice. Yeah, but not everybody uses it wisely, but that's okay. Everyone has their own way. Great. Anything else? Anything you'd like to add, or any topics you would like to cover for our next Dhamma discussion? Please feel free.
Can I ask for so maybe stages of Anapanasati meditation? Maybe as you progress, how you start, progress, and those kind of things. How the things
Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, so we do that. So then what I'd like you all to do is to read the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. I don't know if I can type it on our little thing. I will share it on our group. Yeah, Mahasatipatthana Sutta is in the Digha Nikaya. There is a Satipatthana Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, but it's shorter. And the Mahasatipatthana Sutta gives all the levels that go through the breathing meditation. So if you read it, it'll make much more sense to you when we talk about it. Yeah, there are 16 levels altogether in a very simple way. Yeah, but important thing is not to read and learn the sutta like by heart, because then you're going to be looking for it and you're practicing it. No, important thing is just keep it as a guide, like our little map, the road map. Okay, I know I need to go north, then I need to go east. Okay, but I have to keep driving, and then when I know when I get to this signpost, I have to turn. Right? So the Mahasatipatthana Sutta will give you guidelines. Okay, this is happening. When this is happening, okay, this will arise. Okay, so I keep observing. Yeah, and then when it arises, you know you're on the right track. Yeah, cool. So that should be a good topic. Thank you, Alex.
Yes, I would appreciate it as well.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. But it'll be 2 weeks' time, if that's okay with you guys, because I'm away next week. So yeah, and so we'll meet up in 2 weeks' time, and get to tell you all about my travel.
Yes.
Have a wonderful trip.
Bless you. Thank you. But I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. So everyone, anything else you'd like to add before we finish? No?
Just small admin stuff. I will change the access so that usually I have to join the meeting and approve everybody, and it's inconvenient for people who are waiting. So I'm gonna change it for everybody to be open, so nobody is waiting in the lobby.
Okay.
And yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'll do a little blessing before we finish. Okay. All right. So about Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhanupavena Sada Sati Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhammanupavena Sada Sati Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sanghanubhavena Sada Sati Bhavantu Te. So many blessings to Alex, Amra, and Milosh for joining us today, and all who are going to listen to our little audio recording. May you all be blessed with health in your life, peace in your hearts, success in everything that you do with good intention, and have the courage and effort to practice this noble Dhamma path to reach enlightenment in this very lifetime. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Great, everyone. Lakanoj, Punablagasla,
Shlakunosh.
Vidivaseo Skuro.
Likewise. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.